Okay. Uh, okay, so you can see, right, slide. So last two class we have discussed about the magnetostatics, which is we have done the all the magnetic field, what it is, and magnetic flux density, and then we have seen that curve. Then what do you mean by Ampere circuit law, vector, and scalar magnetic potential, right? So now today's class, that is module 4, on steady magnetic field. So today's class just will start with module 4, that is steady magnetic field. So which before this one, we have gone to the all the like having that magnetic field intensity, magnetic flux density, and then flux potential calculation, and then vector magnetic potential. That is previous chapter we discussed. Okay. Now those things are like completely having that chart like magnet field, steady magnet field. Now, if the current distributions, if the current distribution is known, so we can like we should find the like magnetic field, magnetic flux density, and then vector magnetic field. Okay, so at every point we need to calculate in a space which is existing that completely of your magnetic field, right? So these things we have just to discuss problems, and then we have done this some calculation also. Now let us take this some problems like some of the things, major things which is going to have that magnetic fields. Okay, so in this second, those things like electrostatic and magnetostatics is like first half it is. Now remaining all these things, second half will start on the magnetic, which we are going to study now. Magnetic forces, how it will be in both like forces in both electrostatic and magnetostatic combinedly. Okay. Till now we have seen that only that individual of electrostatic and then magnetostatic. Now from this module onwards, let us take the what is that both combining that force. If you are having that force, so in any of the field, so how you can calculate that magnetic field or magnetic flux density, and then how you represent completely that force in both of electromagnetic statics. Okay, that's why the name is given that electromagnetic field. We have to calculate that in electromagnetic field by having that all the field how it is going to distribute it. If we consider in engineering fields or any nature, this combinedly only is going to exist in the nature completely, that electric and as well as magnetic field both. Okay, now let us take those things only by having here introduction part, which is now in this we are just going to determine the force, and then going to determine the torque, what it will be in a magnetic field that is having, and then electric field, some of the things like causes here, force to be exerted on a charge, force to be exerted on a charge, which may be either stationary or in a moving object that is in motion, right? In electrostatic, if we consider a charge, that force may be like having that in a stationary or moving charges. So for this, we calculated what is that in stationary charge or distributed charges of electric field. Whereas like if you consider in the steady magnetic field, it is only possible like having that force on a moving charge. That steady magnet field only possible if the charge is having that motion, then only that magnet field will be created, which is we are like always seeing that that magnet field how it is produced. It's not for the stationary charges, it is only produced due to the that completely having that motion of the charges, which is like going to calculate that part of the magnet field due to the that motion of the charges, right? So that is a magnetic field produced the moving of the charges, and that may exert some of the forces like moving charges, and that magnet field cannot arise from the stationary charges and cannot exist also in the any of the force in a stationary charges. So which is that completely for like field having in a motion or stationary charges here. Now magnet field is produced due to the moving charges only, which is not from the stationary charges which mentioned here. Okay, and thus the magnet field can exert force only on the moving charges and not on the stationary charges. Now having this all the main introduction part of this one, completely that stationary or moving charges, what will be the force of magnet that will be created due to the that current carrying conductor or any surface, okay, that to be calculated here. So this one is the main concept we are going to consider here, right? So now let us take that the same thing which is having that motion force on a moving point charges, force on a moving point charges, if it is like having that. Now we can compare these things like having electrostatic and magnetostatic. We can compare these things are in electrostatic and magnetostatic. So which in electrostatic already we have studied that from the Coulomb's law, that is force exerted on a electric charge. It can be calculated here for electric field intensity. In electric field intensity, force in a electrostatic, which is equal to the charge, that is magnitude of the charge, and then electric field, which is in a electrostatic field, right? Now similar way, if you consider in the charge placed in a steady magnetic field, if charge placed in a steady magnetic field, for this we have the magnetic field, that is magnetic force, that for that experience of a force only if it is moving, the charge is moving, then only we can have that force. Then the magnetic field force Fm exerted on a charge Q moving with a velocity V and steady magnetic field is given. That is in a magnetic field, that force is equal to the charge is having, then its velocity, the charge like moving some of the object, and then its velocity of the charge into the cross product of the magnetic field, which is equal to your force in a magnetic field here. So we can calculate that force in a magnetic field that is having here. Okay, so that can be calculated here. Force in a completely magnetic field, the charge and then velocity, that cross and v bar, which is here charge. You are going to take that either positive charge or negative charge, whatever may be, that magnitude we are going to consider, and then the charge moving that from positive to negative in any conductor with some velocity, okay, with some velocity, and then it will create that magnetic field around a conductor, which is nothing but cross product between the this velocity of the charge and then magnetic field, which is equal to your magnetic force. In a completely, we can see that magnetic force. So this one is in electrostatic, and this one is your in magnetostatic. So which you can see that now force is directly proportional to your charge, velocity, and then magnetic field. Force is directly proportional to your charge, velocity, and then magnetic field. So which you can represent it here. So now let us take that the same thing. Force is, if you consider the force and then velocity and charge, which is completely that angle between the 90-degree. That velocity of the charge and then which magnetic field is created between these two, always that angle theta will be present here, which is right angle, 90-degree always. That force always right angle to the velocity and then right angle to the magnetic field, which is angle between the velocity and then velocity and then magnetic field, which we are going to calculate the magnetostatic force. Magnetostatic force that you can calculate here. Okay, so that is a magnetic field completely having here. The direction of the magnetic field force, that magnetic force is perpendicular to the always that plane containing velocity and then magnetic flux density. Magnetic flux density here. Now, if you take that angle between these two, that velocity and then magnetic field, which is theta here, which is sine 90, which is sine 90. So sine 90, if you consider that magnitude will become 1. So now this you just to take cross product V cross B bar, which is nothing but the charge which is having and then magnitude of the velocity and then magnitude of the flux density. And then angle between these two is sine 90 here. Now, if we represent that magnetic force completely in a magnitude, sine of angle between this velocity and magnetic field is 90 degree. So sine 90 become 1 here. Okay. Now, this one is completely magnetic force to be calculated in any of the field here. Now, you can write the units also, how you can represent as units. So units of force is nothing but Newton, which is equal to, and then charge unit is Coulomb, and then velocity, that unit is meter per second, which is charge is moving either positive or negative, and then I will write here magnetic field as it is that units. Magnetic field as it is that units here. Now, if I take completely that magnetic field units left hand side, if I take completely here, the numerator is Newton second and then over upon Coulomb per meter, which is nothing but is equal to 1 Tesla, which is nothing but it is 1 Tesla. We'll get it here. Newton, if you take complete all these units of here, you'll get 1 Tesla. So this is our like completely having that in a magnetic moving charge, that force on a moving point charge that can be calculated here. Okay. Now, after this one, which is going to represent this, that electrostatic and then magnetostatic, and then magnetostatic. Here we can take both combinedly. What it will be? Both combinedly. That force of electrostatic and then magnetostatic. If you combine these two, okay. So the force in electrostatic, which is nothing but the charge into electric field, plus that in a force in a magnetostatic, which is nothing but the charge and then that velocity cross B bar. Now, if you take in both, the common is Q here, the charge is Q, and then you will take it here electric field plus velocity into and that B bar here, that is magnetic flux density. So this equation is nothing but our Lorentz force equation. This equation we call it as Lorentz force equation. Okay, so this is the main thing of how we can calculate the force in any of the electromagnetic field. Okay, both combinedly what will be the force to be calculated. This is the very, very important formula, and further we'll be utilizing more to this one. Okay, so force can be calculated this one in electrostatic and magnetostatic. So this equation is nothing but Lorentz force equation. So these are some of the things, this Lorentz force equation, that application, it's determining the complete electron orbits in the magnetron, then proton path in the cyclotron, and then plasma characteristics in a magnetohydrodynamic generator, which is etc. So this Lorentz force equation can be calculated of these things here. Okay. Now with the same thing of force here, and if you write in terms of the mass into acceleration, force, that is mechanical, if you consider, force is equal to mass into acceleration here. So which is mass, and then acceleration nothing but that is velocity, the rate of change of velocity with respect to the time here, which you can also calculate it m into dv by dt. Sorry, it is force which is equal to that in electrostatic field also you can represent it. Okay, so that is the both things we can represent it here. So this is the one general. Now I will show you one small video. You can understand that both in electrostatic and then magnetostatic, how that force will be created. You can look into to this video. Just a minute. I closed. You can see, right? Just listen this.
Yeah, yes, stuff we can see.
Okay. I am playing the video. Just you can look into this one.
The Lorentz force is a phenomenon experienced by an electric current which is made up of negatively charged particles or electrons moving through a wire. Shown here as yellow particles, electrons move from negative to positive. However, the convention is to think of electrical current as moving from positive to negative. So that's how we'll show it here using red particles. If it's not moving, a charged particle doesn't create any magnetic field. But when it moves, it generates a little magnetic field around it, shown by these green arrows. Flip the direction of the current, and you flip the direction in which the magnetic field circles around it. The magnetic field produced by the current will interact with another magnetic field, just the way two magnets repel or attract each other. Here's a horseshoe magnet with a north and south pole. The magnetic field always points from north to south, as shown by the blue lines. This wire is arranged in a kind of pendulum, so it can swing back and forth. Let's insert the horseshoe magnet into the setup and see what happens when electricity runs through the wire and creates a magnetic field around it. The pendulum swings in a different direction perpendicular to the horseshoe magnet's field and to the movement of the current. If we reverse the direction of the current, the magnetic field it generates will turn in the opposite direction, causing, in turn, the pendulum to swing in the opposite direction. Flipping the horseshoe magnet around to reverse the magnetic field around the pendulum will also cause the wire to swing in the opposite direction. The Lorentz force is what makes our electric motors work. Without this force, our modern world would be quite different.
Okay. I think your hope cleared this video with this one. That force, how it will be created in electrostatic and then magnetostatic combinedly. That force. Okay. So that is the Lorentz force equation. How it will be going to represent in both when you give that supply either positive or negative. That is a charge motion. When the charge motion, you can see that there is a magnetic field will be around that conductor. Okay, so any of the either way of the directions, if you change it, that force will be created. Only that motion of the charges, not stationary of the charges, that magnetic field will not create at all. Okay, that is the main thing here. So on this one also, let us solve that problem. It is important. So every time they are asking in the previous question paper, if you see it. So from this module here, now one problem will solve it here. Okay. Now problem is given like this: that a point charge is equal to minus q, that is minus 40 microcoulomb, is moving with a velocity of minus 3 a cap x minus 4 a cap y plus 4.5 a cap z into 10 to the power of 6 meter per second. Find the magnitude of the vector force exerted on moving particle by the field. So for this, you need to calculate what will be, find the magnitude of the vector force, which having first one is B bar, which is given in the Cartesian, and then electric field, second one is electric field, which is given in the Cartesian coordinate system, and then what will be that vector for combinedly, that force is having both magnetic field and electric field. Okay, so you need to calculate here. Now we know that that problem is given here, which are the things is given. So the charge is given and then velocity is given here. So you can calculate in magnetostatic force. In magnetostatic force, that magnetic field is given, that is milli Tesla. So which is force can be calculated in a magnetic field. That formula is the charge is having in motion with a velocity v cross b bar, which is equal to the charge is given minus 40 into 10 to the power of minus 6, and then velocity into cross b bar here. So you can take this one is a determination in Cartesian coordinate system, which is a cap x and then a cap y, a cap z, and then take that first one is velocity. So velocity given in Cartesian coordinate system of each x, y, and z. So you can take that magnitude of that x component is minus 3, y component is minus 4, and z component is 4.5, which is 10 to the power of 6 given here, meter per second. And then second one is B, magnetic field is given. Magnetic field is 2, that x component and y component and z component. Magnitude you can take. And then given that milli Tesla it is, so 10 to the power of minus 3. After taking determination of this one completely and multiplying this all the constants here, so which you get it in the force in a magnetic field is a cap x, that is 0.26, then minus 0.96 a cap y, and then 0.68 a cap z, which is having that Newton, that force Newton in a magnetostatic field. Now, if you take that magnitude of that completely in an electrostatic magnetostatic field, which we get it, force is 1.2048 Newton. So this one is having the charge this much minus 40 microcoulomb, and then the charge is moving this much velocity. So you will get that force in a magnetostatic is 1.2048 Newton. Now, similar way, you can calculate in electrostatic field, what will be the force. So having the charge Q and then electric field already given in Cartesian coordinate system. Now, if you take that force in electrostatic field, now multiply with here Q into E, so which is Q is constant here, and then electric field is given Cartesian coordinate system, which is x, y, and z. So you can substitute here. So in into that k is a kilo they have given, that is 10 to the power of 3. So after multiplying this, so in electrostatic force is x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. So that magnitude of x minus 0.08 and y minus 0.12 and then z 0.16. Then if you take that this force that is magnitude of this electrostatic, which is 0.2154. So you can compare these two. So which is in magnetostatic and which is in electrostatic. In electrostatic, that force is less. In magnetostatic, that force is more. Okay. So this one is for finding force of in a magnetostatic and electrostatic. Now similar way, now they asked find the both electric field and magnetic field of the force. What is it? The total force in completely that Lorentz force equation. So now if you combine these two as a vector, not a magnitude to be added here, you have to take that vector, that because force is a vector. So take that combinedly that force of in a vector direction, which is in magnetostatic and electrostatic. So if we add these two, magnetostatic and electrostatic forces, so we get it here, x, y, and z component with some magnitude here. Okay, so now if you take the total of in a electromagnetic force, can be taken that magnitude, and that force is 1.2121 north. Sorry, it is Newton. This one is force. So this one is one problem, like when the charges is moving from the positive or negative, that force to be calculated this much here. Okay, so this simple problem on this one, if you remember the formula, so they are going to ask this in 8 marks problem in the exam. Okay, I think you have cleared about this Lorentz force equation, how to be calculated. I think it is not complicated, it is very simple here. Now let us move to the next topic. Next topic here, we are going to take that force on a differential current element. We'll move to the next one, that is force on a differential current element. Now practical, we have seen that what is the differential element of charge made of, which having that very large number of small and discrete of the charges. Okay, and that volume of thus occupied by these charges is obviously small, but it is effectively greater than the average separation between the charges. Now, when we take considering this, the charges which that electrons flows between that conductor. So, if you take that volume of one particular charge, it will be less. When you take that average of all the charges, it will be more. That is greater average charges will be more in that completely one conductor that charges in motion of completely. Now, for the differential force of that charges differential force, we can calculate from the in a magnetostatic field, that is force of differential force is equal to the charge having the differential charge, and then velocity, the charge is moving with a velocity, and then cross b bar here. Okay, so now if we consider this force, if our charges are motion in a conductor, so when we give that supply, always the charges will be in motion within the conductor. Now the electrons are motion throughout a region of immobile positive ions, and which will form that crystalline array, and it will give that some of the solid conductor properties. Okay, so like when we have that any of the positive or negative charges, so like it will form like completely electrons are in motion, and as well as holes also in motion. Both will like form in the crystalline array, and which will create that completely as in motion object. Okay. Now then when we take that completely magnetic field, if you calculated in between that magnetic field, which is exert on force on the electrons, tends to cause them shift position slightly. So when we find the magnetic field force on this, so it will like some of the like it will be shifted position slightly and produce a small displacement between the center of the gravity of positive and negative charges. Okay, so that here just when we calculate the force of magnetic due to the presence of the air motion, positive and negative charges. So with these things will cause the sum of the very small displacement, that is a small difference between the positive and negative charges at center of the gravity. So with that displacement is opposed by Coulomb's forces between positive and electrons, that positive ions and electrons here. So when electron try to move, the force attraction between electron and positive ions will be observed. So this practical, I will show you that later. And thus the magnet force get transferred to the conductor itself. So this is the one of the motion here. In a conductor, if you consider the Coulomb's force are much greater than the magnetic force. In the conductor, if you take that Coulomb forces, that is electric field forces are much greater than the magnetic forces. This suppression of the charges is observed, which indicates that small potential difference exists across the conductor in a direction perpendicular to the magnetic field as velocity of charges both. So this effect, we'll call it as some voltage across conductor, we'll call it as Hall voltage, and this effect we'll call it as Hall effect. Like it is like similar type of the parallel plate. When we give that supply to the positive or negative, so it will like positive ions will have the one side and negative ions completely will flow to the other side. So which is like between that difference or the potential difference will exist. So that potential difference will call it as Hall voltage. And then this effect is called as Hall effect here. Okay, so this is the main how it will be Hall voltage and Hall effect. Now let us take that the same thing Hall effect, how it will be. So this is type same the potential difference, how it will be created here. So this you can see that on picture where you can apply the positive and negative, which is in the some directions here. Okay, so in XYZ coordinate system, this is one plate completely. XYZ coordinates here. Now if you consider this one, XYZ coordinates, so here we'll be taking that completely form of the Hall voltage, both positive and negative charges in motion. Okay, so positive and negative charges in motion, which is X, Y and Z Cartesian coordinate system. So now if you take that flowing of the, it is like positive to negative, current is flowing to this plate. So now X direction is this one, and then current is flowing like this. So it will be completely your velocity of the charges in the negative direction. Velocity of the charges in the negative direction, that is in the direction of the A cap X, minus A cap X. Okay, so after it is flowing this one, and on this surface, like you will be having magnet field will be produced. So that magnet field will be in this direction, and then velocity of the forces will be in this direction. That electric field forces and then magnet field forces is like this. So here that electric field forces and magnetic field forces completely in the Y direction. It is like force is moving in the Y direction. So that angle between velocity and then magnet field, it's always perpendicular. That is cross between here. Okay, so that is the main here when we take that completely positive and negative plate here when you apply. Now you can after applying that supply, so negative ions will be one side and positive ions will be one side. So electrons will be one side and positive will be one side here. So in between this potential difference will be created. Between this potential difference will be created. So this effect will call it as Hall voltage. Okay, or Hall effect. The direction of the current will be towards to the like this. The same thing if you consider in the opposite. Now positive and negative. If you interchange this supply positive and negative, so that time positive will be one side and negative will be one side. But you can see that electric field force is this direction only. That means magnet field also in this direction only. That here is on Z direction. That force is on Y direction. So angle between the velocity of the charges and then magnet field is 90 degree only. Okay, so that is in completely having here. So this one is that current is flowing through us to the x direction here. That positive and negative, if we change it here, so positive, that current will flow to the in x direction. That is positive here. So this the similar way I have drawn it here, which is that positive and negative plates applied. Okay, so what is the use of this one? What is the use of this Hall voltage? So this Hall voltage of this one, we can tell that which type of this conductor, which type of this one it is, which is having this positive and negative ions here. Okay, so this we can find other way, which is the same thing you have drawn it here. Both the current holes and electron semiconductor, therefore differentiated by the voltage here. So which I have taken positive one side and negative one side, and then magnet field will like created in this way here, direction of the magnet field, that north to south. So when you apply the Hall voltage here. So what is the use of, I was asking, no? So here we can calculate which type of semiconductor it is. Which type of semiconductor we can find out. That is either P type or ion type. So if it is positive ion this side and negative ion this side, so this type of conductor is P type semiconductor. Okay. So from this Hall effect, you can find out either N type semiconductor or P type semiconductor. Okay, so this is the one of the advantage of this one Hall effect. And not only this advantage of N type and P type semiconductor to find out, other one is we can calculate the what is the magnetic flux density also. Magnetic flux density throughout this on having that conductor, and we can calculate that some of the devices what is the magnetic field across it. Magnet field also across it we can calculate, and this Hall effect you can keep at the any sensor side also, and it will create that what will be that magnet field will be having. And then this Hall effect you can it can be used for measuring rpm, that speed of the motor. It will be used Hall effect this one. Okay, and then other things like servo has some electronic wattmeter and squaring elements, etc. This is the advantage of here. So I will show here one video on Hall effect. You can just to see it. Okay, so I'll just to show you here a video.
Hello, Dan Milowski here from howtomechatronics.com. In this video, we will learn what is Hall effect and how Hall effect sensors work. The Hall effect is the most common method of measuring magnetic field, and the Hall effect sensors are very popular and have many contemporary applications. For example, they can be found in vehicles as wheel speed sensors, as well as crankshaft or camshaft position sensors. Also, they are often used as switches, MEMS compasses, proximity sensors, and so on. Now we will go through some of these sensors and see how they work, but first let's explain what is the Hall effect. Here's the experiment that explains the Hall effect. If we have a thin conductive plate as illustrated and we set current to flow through it, the charge carriers would flow in a straight line from one to the other side of the plate. Now, if we bring some magnetic field near the plate, we would disturb the straight flow of the charge carriers due to a force called Lorentz force. In such a case, the electrons would deflect to one side of the plate and the positive poles to the other side of the plate. This means if we put a meter now between these two sides, we will get some voltage which can be measured. So, the effect of getting a measurable voltage, as we explained above, is called the Hall effect, after Edwin Hall, who discovered it in 1879. The basic Hall element of the Hall effect magnetic sensors mostly provides very small voltage of only a few microvolts per Gauss, so therefore these devices are usually manufactured with built-in high-gain amplifiers. There are two types of Hall effect sensors. one providing analog and the other digital output. The analog sensor is composed of a voltage regulator, a Hall element, and an amplifier. From the circuit schematic, we can see that the output of the sensor is analog and proportional to the Hall element output or the magnetic field strength. These type of sensors are suitable and used for measuring proximity because of their continuous linear output. On the other hand, the digital output sensor provides just two output states, either on or off. These type of sensors have an additional element, as illustrated in the circuit schematic. That's the Schmitt trigger, which provides hysteresis or two different threshold levels, so the output is either high or low. For more details how the Schmitt trigger works, you can check my particular tutorial for that. An example of this type of sensor is the Hall effect switch. They are often used as limit switches, for example, in 3D printers and CNC machines, as well as for detection and positioning in industrial automation systems. Another contemporary applications of the Hall effect sensors are measuring wheel speed or RPM, as well as determining position of crankshaft or camshaft in engine systems. These sensors are composed of a Hall element and a permanent magnet, which are placed near a tooth disc attached on the rotating shaft. The gap between the sensor and the teeth of the disc is very small, so each time a tooth passes near the sensor, it changes the surrounding magnetic field, which will cause the output of the sensor to go either high or low. So, the output of the sensor is a square wave signal, which can be easily used for calculating the RPM of the rotating shaft. Thanks for watching, and for more tutorials, visit my official web.
Okay, so this one is video on Hall effect. Okay, so from this one only, Hall effect will have the one mathematical equation or mathematical equation. Now considering that an element of moving charge in an electron beam, which we can say that in CRO also, that heated completely in thermal, so which now charge is moving in a completely having a electron beam. So with that force, the differential force can be calculated, which equal to that previous equation only we are considering now. What's it? Oh, okay. So now dq into that velocity cross b bar, which is that force. Force is Newton is measured here. Now we have already seen that what is that current density. Current density, we have seen that equation, current density, and then in terms of the volume charge density, which is equal to the rho v into that velocity, which we have seen that in conductor, right? That current density when the charge is moving with a some particular of the volume, so which is amount of the that volume charge density with some velocity, that is called current density. Okay, so let us consider this equation is 1. Now by having this equation here, now the differential element of charge can be expressed in terms of that volume charge density, can be expressed in the terms of volume charge density. That charge also we can take that rho v into dv, which is dq equal to rho v into dv. That particular complete that volume charge is moving. Okay, dq equal to rho v into dv here. Now from this equation, so you can substitute this one to in equation 1. So we can have that. Here df is equal to, sorry, this is equation 1, not this one, this one is equation 1. Okay, above that differential force is equal to rho v into dv. So you can substitute here dq. What is rho v into dv? Rho v into dv, and then having that velocity cross b bar. Okay, now you can take that df in terms of the j also. So the current density is nothing but rho v into velocity. So I will take this rho v, and velocity is nothing but current density in that equation. After changing that j cross b bar, and which is remaining dv here, this side. Okay, so this one is current density, that force is having current density. So when that relationship between the current element, we have seen that in conductor, if current carrying conductor, that is one straight line wire. Now similar way, if you take that surface charge, surface current element, that is k bar ds, and if you consider the volume charge, so in that what will be the current distributed, so that is current charge density here. K is nothing but current that surface density which is having that surface area. These are all equal once that current is flowing through that any of the surface or volume or wire. These are all equal here. So considering that length element here, this one is surface area and this one is volume. Okay, so by having this one, force we can calculate it on surface current density is given by that force is equal to K into B bar into ds. That previous slide we have seen that force for volume distributed, that current density cross B bar, which is magnetic field is going to produce here in a value. Now similar way, if you consider in the surface, that force how it will be going to create that force which is having here. Okay, so force which is having for completely surface area, df is equal to k into that b bar, which is producing magnetic field due to this surface here. Similar way, you can calculate for line, which is magnetic field is going to produce. That force is I into dl cross b bar. Now, if you integrate this one to completely for volume, which is having that volume current distributed, F is equal to volume integration J cross B bar into dV. Okay. You can calculate further similar way for integrating over the closed surface. F bar is equal surface integral K into B bar into ds here. Now similar way, you can calculate a closed path force for line integral, which is IDL cross B bar. Okay, so for you can take that if it is straight conductor having that uniformly distributed current. So force you can take that I into L, that length of the conductor cross B bar, which is that angle between this existing as sine theta, which is magnitude of the force is given. Force is equal to I into that L into B into sine theta. Okay, so that only theta is the angle between the vector representing the direction of the current flow and then direction of the that magnetic flux density. The theta is represent here the direction of the current flow, which is current here I, and the direction of the magnetic field, that is magnetic flux density. Okay, so from this you can calculate the what is the main circuit is going to consider that force. So this one force on a differential current element, and this is one main concept of this one Hall voltage or Hall effect. Okay, I will end up this today this one. If you are having any doubt, you can ask. Okay. Anybody is having doubt?